Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Primary Teaching with Dom. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Primary Teaching with Dom.
Now, I want to put it out there, as my PGCE, there's many people that did more than me as a PGCE student. A PGCE life is hard anyway, but an NQT is harder. Hello, and welcome back. So, I felt that I needed to make this video because it was quite important. I read someone's post, and this video is going to be about newly qualified teaching, so NQT versus being a PGCE student. Let's get on to the video. Now, although granted I've been an NQT for a month now, you say around about a month, next week will be a month, there were so many differences that I have seen within this time that I can just make a video about it. The first one I would want to talk about is your pay. You'll get that paycheck as an NQT and you'll look at it thinking, oh, that's interesting. Some people will be like, yay! You know, I got paid finally, like me. Some of you will be like, oh my goodness, look at that. Why have I got that? Why do I want to be a teacher? I've seen many videos and they've said the same thing, and I'm going to repeat the same thing, that teaching is not about pay. If you feel that you want to get this loads of money, you want to get loads of money and so on, and coming teaching will do that for you, you'll be sadly mistaken. It doesn't. Teaching, I would say teaching is more of a rewarding job with pay rather than, oh my goodness me, I'm getting paid kind of situation. Yes, teaching, you need to get paid, you should be getting paid much more for the jobs we do, because we're not just a teacher, we're a counsellor, we're a fixer, we're a part-time parent if you're not a parent. If you are a parent, you're a parent at school and at home, so you're a parent that's literally double. You know, you're behaviorologist, if that's even a word. You are someone that calms someone down. You're an intervention person. You're a life coach. For a lot of children, we wear many, many hats. So we should get paid a lot more, yes. However, on the other hand, teaching's not about pay. It's not. Teachers do teaching because they absolutely love teaching. They love to see the reward that is given. They love to see children learn, that they love to see happiness they get out of it is basically the extra pay, basically. As a PGCE student now, I wasn't getting paid at all. So it was all for free. It was all, I wouldn't classify student finance giving me money, because end of the day, that was going towards rent. The next one is going to be very quick, is parents' evening. As a PGCE student, I sat in at parents' evening for one, to tick off a standard. I got some things from it. I was only there for like 30 minutes, not the full course. And yeah, it was interesting. I kind of sat there, twiddled my thumbs, listened in a little bit. Great, that's all I did. Now as an NQT, I actually have to do parents' evening. I've got to be there for the whole time. How weird would it be for you to go to parents' evening and you're the parent coming to my class saying, oh, hello, Dominic. How's my child doing? And I'm like, say meetings. Now, when I was a PGCE student, not in my second placement in year 5, I didn't have to. My adults said just go home, relax. In my year 1, I did attend meetings. Not every single meeting, but I attended a few. So that would be a twilight session to another school. That would be a meeting when they had a whole school meeting. If someone came in for training, we had to go, and so on and so forth. So when I went into my NQT now, I was more prepared for it, because I've been to meetings that lasted 6 o'clock. I've been to twilight meetings that I had to drive to another school, which I already had twilight session already that lasted to 5. So I'm more used to it. However, as an NQT, I take in a lot more, so much critical information that needs to be written down in terms of dates, in terms of assessments that need to be done. The next one, I would say, is hours. When I was a PGCE student, I would say more in year 1 as my first and third placement. I came in at 8 o'clock or 8:15, and then I would leave at about 4:30, 5 o'clock. That was my general hours in school. They wouldn't let us leave before 4:15 because we were contracted as an actual teacher per se. So But we left at 5 o'clock because we had a little marking to do. We were an early excellent school, so we had to get loads of resources ready for them to play with, learning through play and all that. So we left at 5 o'clock. As an NQT, I come in at about 7:30 in the morning, 7:15, and I leave at 5:30, the latest. The reason I do that myself is because I come in so early that I don't want to stay to 6, 7, 6:30 like some people do. Hours as a teacher tends to go like that. You will go in at 7 and by 1 minute is now 4 o'clock. And you're thinking, I've got marking books to do, I've got displays to do, my book corner needs tidying, the classroom needs tidying, I've got to go to a meeting, I've got to go to a toilet session. There's so much things to do within that time that you don't seem to have hours. The next one is assessment. Assessment for me required to look at a group of children, more focused, and track their progress within the 10 weeks that I was with them. They kind of started when I wasn't really there, if that makes sense, and then track all the lessons that I taught with them and do that. I also had to track the whole class for when I was teaching them. When I did my essay, I had to focus on 2 children in English, maths, and science, and I had to track their progress for 4 weeks. I'm not going to say that a PGCE assessment is easy when I'm now going to talk about NQT. It was hard at the time, but looking back, looking now as an NQT, I wish I could do that assessment. As an NQT, your assessment starts before they get into your classroom. So assessment starts from the year that they're at. So if you're in reception, your assessment starts from the things from when they're in nursery, or if they didn't even have nursery. If you're in year 1, your assessment starts from when they're in reception, when you go in as meet the teacher. That's when you get there. Did they achieve their early development goals? If not, what are they doing about that? What's the intervention? Are they doing speech and language? Year 2, what did they get in the year 1 phonics screening? You need to look at that. What did they get in maths? What are you looking at? And so on and so forth. So you keep backdating a year. Started my first week, I did a phonics screening test. I did a maths one, did an English one. How is their writing? How is their maths? Can they do number formation? Can they say numbers 1 to 20 in order? Can they use concrete manipulatives to demonstrate and show me what 1 looks like, what 2 looks like? For phonics, can they decode? Can they say their initial speed sounds? Can they say a, b, z, p, m? Now, I want to put it out there, as my PGCE, there's many people that did more than me as a PGCE student. Regardless, yes, I didn't do as much as others, but I'm going to give you my real truth because that's what I did as a PGCE student. Overall working day, or the hours, as an NQT, I'm much more tired than I was a PGCE student, although I travelled 36 miles a day for my PGCE, and so I travel way less, but I have to do so much more as an NQT. I've got to make sure displays. Now, loads of you as a PGCE student or schools direct, you did displays, and that is fantastic. And if you are currently a PGCE student, please get on and please do displays. I did displays, I did 1, just because it was a target for me. But as an NQT, I had to do the whole class displays. I have to continue to do so, and it's hard for me because I've never done it. I did lesson planning, which, by the way, lesson planning, I would say is on par with what I do now because I had to plan all the lessons I did when I was a PGCE student. So I'll say it this way. When I was a PGCE student, I planned all English for year 1. Then I would plan all maths the week after. As I am now, I plan all topic. History, art, PHSE, science. So I don't see more planning, if that makes sense. So I'm quite fine with that. But there's a general working day is a lot more harder than NQT. You're getting paid now, so they expect more. When the head teacher comes and observes you, or the head teacher comes to look at your, I forgot what they call it now. When you do baseline grading and they look at your, I don't know what they call it now. It's when they look at the progression of your children. You got to be accountable. You got to know why that child is not progressing. What have you done to do so? If you have no answer, they're going to say, why are you doing it? Why? So I know one child is quite low, but I'm giving them interventions. I'm making sure that they're looking at speech and language coach. I'm making sure that every day we're doing some phonics with them. All those kind of things. So you just got to be aware the working day is longer as an NQT than a PGCE by far for me. By far. I'm much more tired as an NQT. I am doing much more work as an NQT, but I expected it. But there it is. The whole cusp. An NQT versus a PGCE. A PGCE life is hard anyway, but an NQT is harder. It is hard, but an NQT is harder. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like, comment and subscribe. Make a comment if you need to. We can talk about it if you want. And yes, please remember to watch and look out for the next video that's coming. All right, bye.